video, we're going to be doing an instruction video on how to make these lanterns like the ones you see behind me. These are made out of a hard to recycle material that is woven polypropylene plastic. So I've got a few pieces here. These are rice hull bags that were used in the beer brewing process. I work with Creature Comforts. I was their artist in residence, and so they help supply me with some of their materials that they would otherwise have to be sending to the landfill so I can make art out of them. Now, you can use different kinds of materials for this. You might have woven plastic like this from feed grain bags or birdseed bags. You can kind of get a good look at it here. It's difficult to recycle because of the way the plastic is woven together. It's not the same as like your regular plastic bag. And so we're gonna make art out of it. Alright, so I've got all the materials here that I'm gonna need. So we have the plastic right here, which I have cut open, cleaned off, just with like a rag. You can use a simple like non-toxic spray cleaner or even just water or soapy water. It's not perfect, but it doesn't have to be. I've then taken it and ironed it flat. So used a piece of paper, such as any kind of office paper, put that on it, ironed it, that way it becomes more papery. And I've discovered that that's a great treatment process for any kind of material, plastic material that I'm working with. I have a pen here. You can trace an outline of the flower if you like. I do it all freehand, organically, I like that each one is a little bit different. Alright, so let's get to it. The other materials you'll need: a pair of scissors, hot glue gun, extra hot glue sticks. Got this hot glue gun warming up so it'll be ready to go when we get to that part. This is a sample of one of these forms. I've already cut a few out of the sheet, and that's another reason that I like to not trace them, is because I like to kind of look at what I've got left here and be able to maximize material. There is a little bit of waste. You could find some other creative use for it. I've also accepted that a little bit of waste is going to happen, but that I'm saving most of this material from getting thrown away. So you're going to cut out your shape. Like I said, I do this totally freehand. Made a lot of these at this point. You want a 6-petaled flower with pointy petals. Those give you the tips that you're going to use to attach the flowers together when you're turning them into lanterns. That's the basic outline. And sort of arbitrarily, between two of the petals, you're going to cut a little slit about to the center. Now, you've got this flower shape. I normally like to cut out a whole bunch of them, kind of get an assembly line going. Hot glue gun stick. I have had this hot glue gun since I was a child. Good high temp hot glue gun. It's a little dirty, but it gets the job done. I think the high temp glue guns are better. Otherwise the low temp glue doesn't always stick together for as long. It can kind of come apart after it dries. Give it a little line of glue. Fold those two petals over each other, press them together, and voila. Now that I've got all of my flower shapes cut out, I'm going to start assembling the lanterns. And so that's pretty straightforward. You take 2 flower shapes, line up to the petals so that they're roughly aligned at the points. It's all approximate. Put a little dab of glue on one side, press them together. There's 2. Now get a third, line it up roughly, points roughly aligned with another one of your 2 that are already together. Put a little dab of glue and stick them together. Now, to make the third bond, you're going to triangulate so that those 2 go together. They should align pretty naturally if all of your flowers are about the same size. A little bit of glue, stick together. And then you're just going to keep going, adding in flowers so that 2 petals align with 2 petals. One more thing to note here as you're gluing is I kind of try to dab the hot glue gun, so I put a little dot and then dab it away, and that keeps those really annoying strings from forming quite as much. They're a little bit inevitable, but it helps a little bit. At some point when you've made enough, you'll find that they can naturally just go together. So it's just sort of follow the pattern. They'll naturally form about the size lantern that these ones behind me are. I find that there's 2 petals left, and I need to attach them these last 2 times. Alright. And there you have it. Your lantern shape. Now we just need to add lights. So I've got a couple of them here. I'll kind of walk you through what I do. I would love to see if you want to experiment with something different. Just drop a comment below. This is all about open experimentation, different materials, different applications. I use a ton of prototyping in my process. So for individually lit lanterns, I like to use these balloon LED lights, and they're made so that you can twist them to turn the light on. Really simple, really kid-friendly, and they also make ones that blink. They make colorful ones. They're designed to go in a balloon, but you can use them in anything. So on this one, I've cut a produce tie, reused, cut it into a smaller piece so that I could use multiple, threaded that produce tie through the little loop that comes on the light, and then really simple, just drop it into one of the lanterns, thread the wire through, and then make a loop. And then you automatically have a little hanger that you could either hold it by or attach a string to or attach a whole bunch of them together, and it's really well illuminated. So that's one option. Another option is a small battery powered copper wire light. This one's USB rechargeable, which I really like, a little more environmentally friendly. Turn the lights on. There's different settings on these. Some you can make it flash. I kind of like the constant, but whatever suits your application. And I've rolled it up, threaded it through, sort of gotten it to attach. You could tape or use hot glue to affix the light in place, and you could put multiple on one strand, or you could put a whole bunch in one lantern. And then the third way that I'm going to show you is how I've done this one right behind me. And that is with an icicle style string light. And so I've got another string light right here in front of me. I'm just going to show you on one of the icicles. So this is the main line. I'm going to turn it on. It's also got rechargeable batteries in it, so that's also a little more environmentally friendly. And so the way I've done these ones behind me is to take one of these icicle strands, wrap it around your hand a number of times, and then up near the top you're going to get a piece of any kind of tape, just using some Scotch tape that we had in our supply closet, and wrap that tape around right there near the top. And then you've got a little light unit. That blinking is really a little bit crazy because of the different settings. There we go. Constant is a little easier for my eyes. And then I've got this lantern. I'm going to find an opening and thread it through, and then it catches. I've got like this one light here is kind of catching right there, and that's holding it in place. Could hot glue or use more tape, and then repeat.